These images are created by AI, but the story is real.
February 19th, 1945. Iwo Jima, a volcanic island no bigger than Manhattan, breathing sulfur and smoke into the cold Pacific air. The sand is black and soft, swallowing boots with every step. The sky is low and grey, heavy with naval gunfire that has already pounded this place for days. And yet, as the first waves of us Marines push forward from the beach, the island answers back. Machine gun fire erupts from nowhere, not from trenches, not from towers, from the ground itself. Concrete bunkers, steel reinforced pillars, interconnected tunnels carved deep into volcanic rock. Japanese defenders do not rise to meet the landing. They wait. They let the Marines come close. Then they open fire from slits barely wider than a helmet. Among the Marines, advancing inland is a small assault team from the 4th Marine Division. Riflemen, a bar gunner, a demolition man carrying satchel charges, and at the center of them, moving slower, heavier, drawing glances even from his own side, is a corporal carrying a weapon few men want to stand near. A flamethrower, the tank on his back sloshes with thickened fuel. 2 hoses run over his shoulders like coiled snakes. The nozzle in his hands looks crude, almost improvised. To many Marines, it feels medieval, brutal, unnecessary. Something whispered about, not admired. Some mock it openly. Others just avoid standing too close. Everyone knows the risk. A single bullet in the tank and you vanish in fire. The corporal knows it too. He has heard the jokes, heard the muttering, heard the quiet nickname passed around when officers are not listening. But he also knows what lies ahead. The bunker 50 yards in front of them has already pinned down 2 platoons. Its firing slit is protected by overlapping fields of fire. Grenades bounce off the angled concrete. Rifle rounds chip nothing. The Japanese inside are calm. They have water, ammunition, air vents hidden in the rock. They can stay here for days. The Marines cannot dot orders, move down the line. The flamethrower team advances as they crawl forward. The ground shakes with artillery. The air smells of cordite and sulfur. The corporal feels the heat even before he fires a single shot. Sweat runs down his back, trapped beneath the weight of the tank. Each step is deliberate, careful. He knows he will be the first thing the enemy aims at. If they see him, the bunker opens fire again. Tracers snap inches above the sand. A Marine to the corporal's left goes down, screaming. The sound cuts through the chaos. The corporal does not stop. At 30 yards, the bunker slit becomes visible. A dark horizontal mouth in the concrete. Inside it, movement, shadows, muzzle flashes. The corporal raises the nozzle. His hands are steady. Training takes over where fear cannot survive. He squeezes the trigger. The flamethrower roars to life, with a sound unlike any other weapon on the battlefield. A deep, violent whoosh. A river of burning fuel surges forward, clinging to the air itself. The flame splashes against the concrete, then pours inside the firing slit like liquid sunlight. Inside the bunker, everything changes in seconds. Oxygen vanishes. Temperatures spike beyond human tolerance. The flame does not simply burn. It crawls. It fills corners. It finds men who thought they were safe behind steel and stone. The gunfire stops, not slowly, not after resistance. It stops instantly, as if a switch has been thrown. Smoke pours from the slit, thick, black, choking. The Marines around the corporal stare, some in disbelief, some in grim understanding. The bunker that had held them in place for hours has gone silent in less than 10 seconds. Word travels fast on a battlefield. Faster than orders. Faster than fear. Flamethrower up. Bunker down. More bunkers come into view as the Marines push inland. Dozens of them. Some hidden so well that only incoming fire gives them away. Each one is a death trap for conventional infantry tactics. Each one is another place where men will die unless something changes. The mocking stops. Now, when the flamethrower team moves forward, Marines part to give them space. Riflemen shift to cover them. Officers point, not dismissively, but urgently. That weapon everyone feared, everyone joked about, has just proven something undeniable. Concrete can be broken. Rock can be breached. Even the most carefully prepared defenses can be silenced. But the price is not small. The corporal feels every eye on him now. Enemy and friendly alike. He has become a priority target. He knows that somewhere ahead, Japanese soldiers are adjusting their aim, waiting for the moment he rises from cover again. The island is far from finished with him. February 19th. 1945. Iwo Jima does not loosen its grip. The silence of the first bunker feels temporary, almost deceptive, like the island is holding its breath. Smoke still curls from the firing slit, drifting low across the black sand, mixing with the smell of burned fuel and scorched concrete. The Marines move again, cautiously, rifles raised, boots sinking, eyes scanning every rise and shadow. The corporal with the flamethrower does not celebrate. He knows better. Silence here often means repositioning, not surrender. Ahead, the terrain rises slightly toward the base of Mount Suribachi. What looks like a hill is actually a fortress. The Japanese have spent months turning this island into a maze of death. Every bunker is connected to another. If one position is lost, the defenders simply withdraw underground and reappear somewhere else. Behind you, beside you, beneath you. The next bunker opens fire without warning. A machine gun rips the air from left to right, stitching the sand in a straight line toward the advancing Marines. Men die flat. Someone shouts for a corpsman. The corporal drops to one knee, instinctively shrinking his silhouette. He feels the tank shift on his back, hears the fuel slosh again. Every movement reminds him of what he is carrying. An officer crawls up beside him, shouting over the noise. The bunker is angled. Grenades cannot reach the slit. A tank was supposed to support them, but it is bogged down behind a crater. Tracks spinning USELESSLY. Once again, the unspoken solution is clear. The corporal nods. No speech, no bravado, just acceptance. Two riflemen move with him, laying down, covering fire. Another Marine carries a spare fuel tank, knowing exactly why he is needed. This is not a single strike. This is going to be a pattern. As they advance, Japanese fire intensifies. Mortar rounds thump into the sand, throwing up clouds of ash and fragments. Shrapnel whistles past. One round lands close enough to knock the corporal sideways. He hits the ground hard, momentarily stunned, ears ringing. The tank survives. So does he. He gets up again. At 20 yards, the bunker's concrete face looms large. The firing slit is narrower than the last one, recessed deeper into the rock. This is not an accident. The defenders have learned. They know flamethrowers are coming. The corporal adjusts his angle. He does not aim straight into the slit. Instead, he sweeps the flame across the opening, letting it pool, letting it cling, letting heat do what bullets cannot. The roar returns. Louder this time, longer. The flame pours in, rebounds, then gets sucked inside as oxygen disappears. Inside the bunker, men scream. The sound is brief, cut short by physics, not mercy. Again. The gunfire stops. A Marine next to the corporal whispers something under his breath. Not a joke, not mockery, awe mixed with horror. The assault continues like this, bunker after bunker. Each one costs time. Each one costs lives. But wherever the flamethrower reaches, resistance collapses faster than anywhere else on the island. Japanese defenders begin to adapt. They wait until the flamethrower team gets close, then open fire from secondary slits. Snipers aim specifically for the fuel tank. A bullet punches through the spare tank carried by the assistant, igniting it in a sudden fireball. The man disappears in flame and smoke. There is no scream this time. The corporal freezes for half a second, just long enough to register the loss. Then he moves again. Stopping is worse than dying here. By nightfall, the Marines have gained only a few hundred yards. The island is still very much alive, but something fundamental has shifted. The bunkers that once felt invincible are now vulnerable. Japanese defenders begin abandoning some positions rather than wait inside them. Others choose to fight to the end, knowing exactly what will come through the firing slit. The flamethrower teams are exhausted. Fuel is running low. The weight on the corporal's back feels heavier than it did that morning. Not just fuel. Expectation. Every advance now depends on him and men like him. He understands the irony. The weapon everyone feared has become the one everyone waits for. And the island has many. Bunkers left to silence. February 20th, 1945. Dawn breaks over Iwo Jima without color. The sky is a dull sheet of gray, smeared with smoke that never fully clears. The ground is still warm in places from fires that burned through the night. The Marines wake where they fell, weapons in hand, faces coated in ash. No one slept much. The island does not allow rest. The corporal checks his flamethrower by feel alone. Valves, hose nozzle. The remaining fuel sloshes lower now. He knows he will need more before the day is done. He also knows the Japanese know his value. Flamethrower operators do not survive long here. That is not rumor. It is arithmetic. As the advance resumes, something strange begins to happen. The Marines move toward a known bunker complex, one that had torn apart a company the day before. Riflemen spread out. Bar gunners take positions. The corporal prepares to move forward again, waiting for the inevitable burst of fire. It does not come. No muzzle flashes. No tracers. Just the wind pushing smoke through broken rock. A lieutenant signals for caution. This kind of quiet is dangerous. On Iwo Jima, silence often means tunnels. It means a flanking position. It means something waiting beneath your feet. The corporal advances anyway, each step measured. When he reaches the first bunker, the firing slit is empty. Inside, the concrete is blackened. The floor is littered with abandoned equipment. The defenders have pulled back into the tunnel system rather than die where they stand. The flamethrower has done this. Without firing a shot, word spreads quickly. The mere presence of the weapon is changing enemy behavior. Bunkers that once fought to the last round are being vacated. Others are rigged for ambush, hoping to catch the operator before he can get close. The Japanese defenders are disciplined, determined, and fully aware of what flame does in enclosed spaces. Many choose another option. That option reveals itself suddenly as the Marines advance through a narrow cut between rocks. The ground erupts. A concealed tunnel exit bursts open, and Japanese soldiers charge out in a coordinated attack. Rifles, grenades, bayonets. The engagement collapses into close quarters. Chaos. The corporal swings the nozzle instinctively. There is no time for careful aim. He fires in short bursts, sweeping flame across the tunnel mouth. The fire does not chase the attackers. It seals the exit behind them. Anyone still inside is trapped. The surviving Japanese soldiers are cut down by rifle fire within seconds. The silence returns. Now it means something else. Silence means a bunker is finished. Silence means an exit has been closed forever. Silence becomes a signal Marines recognize instantly. They move forward when they hear it. They breathe again. By mid-morning, the flamethrower teams are being reassigned constantly. Every hard point, every fortified ridge, every place the advance stalls. The call is the same dot. Bring up the flame. The corporal receives a fresh tank and keeps moving. His uniform is scorched in places. His gloves are stiff with burned residue. His ears ring constantly from the roar of the weapon and the constant concussions of artillery. He does not think about morality. Not here, not now. The weapon is not abstract. It is not debated. It is a tool, and it works. Japanese resistance near Suribachi begins to collapse in pockets, not because the defenders lack courage, but because they lack options. Flame takes away hiding places. It turns tunnels into ovens. It turns concrete into a liability. By afternoon, entire bunker lines fall without sustained firefights. Marines advance faster than expected. Officers notice. Command notices. The flamethrower, once mocked, is now being requested by name. The corporal catches his reflection in a piece of shattered metal. His face is streaked with soot, eyes red, expression hollow. He looks older than he did yesterday. He knows the island will demand more before it releases him, and somewhere ahead, the deepest bunkers remain untouched. February 21st, 1945. By now, Iwo Jima no longer feels like an island. It feels like a single, enormous weapon pointed upward from the sea. Every ridge is wired. Every hollowed slope hides an opening. The deeper the Marines push, the more deliberate the Japanese defenses become. The easy bunkers are gone. What remains are command positions, medical tunnels, ammunition hubs, the places the defenders cannot abandon without losing the entire battle space. These bunkers are deeper, better ventilated, designed specifically to survive flame, or so their engineers believed. The corporal is summoned before dawn. An officer kneels beside him, pointing at a hand-drawn map scratched into the sand. A cluster of positions marked with quick lines and circles. This complex has stopped the advance cold. Tanks cannot approach. Artillery barely touches it. Every assault ends the same way, pinned Marines and mounting casualties. The officer does not sugarcoat it. This one will be close. Very close as the corporal moves out. Japanese fire follows him almost immediately. Snipers have learned his outline. Mortar crews adjust their range. Every step forward feels like a gamble weighted against him. A round cracks past his head, close enough to feel the heat. Another punches into the sand inches from his boot. He keeps going. The entrance to the complex is nearly invisible, a narrow opening disguised by rock and shadow. Riflemen suppress secondary slits while the corporal approaches from an angle that minimizes exposure. His fuel tank feels lighter now, but he knows it will still be enough. It always is. He fires. The flame hits the entrance and disappears inside, sucked downward into the tunnel system. The corporal does not stop. He keeps the trigger depressed, feeding fire into the earth itself. The sound changes. The flame no longer roars outward. It echoes inward. Inside the tunnels, the effect is catastrophic. Heat races through connected chambers. Oxygen vanishes. Pressure builds. Men deeper inside, far from the entrance, feel it before they understand it. There is nowhere to run. Every corridor leads back to flame. Minutes later, secondary exits begin to belch smoke. Then Some defenders attempt to escape. They are cut down before they reach open ground. For the first time since the landing, an entire fortified sector goes quiet at once. Not just one bunker. Not just one position. A whole section of the island falls silent. The Marines advance almost cautiously at first, expecting a trap. But there is no counterattack. No hidden gunfire. Just smoke drifting from vents that were never meant to be discovered. The psychological shift is complete. Japanese defenders begin to recognize the flamethrower operator not as a weapon, but as a warning. Units reposition when they hear the distinctive roar. Some choose to launch suicidal charges rather than wait underground. Others seal themselves in, knowing what that choice means. The corporal becomes a focal point of the battlefield. Marines watch him move and adjust their own movements accordingly. When he advances, they follow. When he pauses, they dig in. His survival dictates momentum. By evening, exhaustion weighs heavier than fear. His arms shake from holding the nozzle. His back aches from the tank. His mind feels distant, narrowed to a sequence of actions repeated too many times. Advance, aim, fire, silence. The island burns in pockets around him. But the flame has done more than destroy bunkers. It has rewritten the battle. What was once an unbreakable defense has become a liability. What was once mocked has become indispensable as darkness falls. The corporal sits against a crater wall, helmet off, staring at nothing. He does not speak. No one asks him to. Around him, Marines prepare for another night of infiltration attacks and sudden violence. But now, when the gunfire stops abruptly in the distance, everyone knows what it means. Another bunker has gone silent. February 23rd, 1945. The flag rises over Mount Suribachi, its fabric snapping in the wind above the smoke. From a distance, it looks like a moment of victory. Up close, the island is still very much alive. Gunfire echoes from the north. Artillery continues to pound ridge. The battle is not over. It has simply changed shape. The corporal watches the flag for only a second before adjusting the straps on his pack. There are still bunkers ahead. Deeper ones. The kind that do not announce themselves until men are already dying. Flamethrower operators have become priority assets now. Assigned protection. Dedicated rifle teams. The mockery that once followed the weapon has vanished completely. In its place is something heavier. Respect mixed with fear. Not of the man, but of what he carries. As the Marines push north, the terrain grows harsher. The bunker systems here are older, reinforced again and again. Some have multiple layers of concrete. Others have water-cooled chambers meant to resist heat. The Japanese have adapted, but adaptation only delays the inevitable. The corporal approaches one final complex near a shattered ridge. This one resists longer than the others. Flame is applied, but the bunker does not fall silent immediately. Smoke pours out, then stops. Gunfire resumes from a secondary slit. He adjusts his position and fires again, feeding flame into the rock from another angle. This time, the silence comes slower. It arrives reluctantly, like the last breath of a dying machine. When it is over, the Marines advance and find no survivors by the end of the battle. Flamethrowers will account for hundreds of destroyed defensive positions across Iwo Jima. They will shorten assaults that once took hours into minutes. They will save lives by ending fights before they begin. They will also leave marks on the men who carried them. The corporal survives the island. Many do not. When he leaves Iwo Jima, his weapon is left behind. He does not look back at it. He does not need to. The memory is enough. After the war, flamethrowers will be debated, condemned, restricted. People will speak of cruelty, of horror, of necessity. They will argue in rooms far from black sand and concrete bunkers. But on Iwo Jima, in February of 1945, none of that mattered. What mattered was silence. Silence meant a bunker was no longer killing Marines. Silence meant a path forward. Silence meant survival. They mocked his Afella, Amethrower, until entire bunkers fell silent.